On this month of the Lord, January 2024, I come to you, His Eminent Archbishop Andrew Kia, with a lot of appreciation, few corrections, analysis, and piece of advice following your recent interview granted at the United States. His Archbishop, at the beginning of this liberation struggle for former British Southern Cameroon, now known as Ambazonia, as of the time you attended the La République du Cameroun National Peace Dialogue in Boya, many diaspora and some ground zero freedom fighters have termed you a black leg. To me, I saw it as the human and spiritual character of trying to bring peace in you. Secondly, when the La République du Cameroun terrorist military took over the Catholic hospital in Libya, Wobane, and to be precise, Besali, as their base of rest to carry on their evil atrocity acts against our people in Libya, you did not address the issue or advocated against it, since the premises was built for health and not for violence. As of then, many termed you an associate of La République du Cameroun. Many freedom fighters in Libya advocated the need to close Catholic Church in Libya and to arrest the Catholic priests in Libya till you address the issue. I denied the move, and I called upon you in an audio to address the issue as I retaliate. I equally addressed the freedom fighters that the La République du Cameroun terrorist military stay there was a forceful and by force invasion and not by your order. And that act they made, which was a strong human rights violation. Like now, I want to genuinely appreciate your international interview you granted in the United States, but not without correcting some few mistakes. First, the Archbishop, you said the church in Cameroon started in the 1890s. If you were talking about La République du Cameroun church or churches, then good. But if you are including the former British Southern Cameroons, then it must be a mistake. Also, if you say the Catholic Church started in Cameroon, in Marienberg, in the Diocese of Edea, you are correct. But talking about the church as a whole, then there must be a mistake of history dates and lesson somewhere, because the church in Cameroon started in the former British Southern Cameroons. The first missionary to land in Cameroon landed in the former British Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, and history taught us was Joseph Merrick in 1808, assisted by the famous Jackson Fuller, and they were later replaced by Alfred Secker in the 1845 with the famous history song of "He was the first to come to Limbe to preach the word of God to the people of Limbe, Alfred Secker." And then many years later, the Catholic missionaries landed in Marienberg, in the Diocese of Edea, in 1890. So you, in an international interview, giving La République du Cameroun credit that the church in Cameroon started in La République du Cameroon is a gross mistake of history. And it's the same way La République du Cameroon had tried all this year to eradicate Southern Cameroon's true history and to invade, to recolonize, and to impact in us the fake La République du Cameroon history, We say no to that because most of us Southern Cameroonians are educated than most of La République du Cameroon masters trying to change the history of the former British Southern Cameroons. Secondly, in your interview, you spoke well, I must compliment, by bringing the still existing war to the international eyes. No matter how hard La République du Cameroon have tried all this while to say they have ended the war, everything has come to normalcy. We thank you for reminding the international community once more that the war is still going on and they need the intervention. But in that interview, you did mention how the boys kidnapped the priest and men of God for ransom. How the boys killed, but you failed to mention how the La République du Cameroon terrorist military do kidnap our people, priests and men of God for ransom too. You did not tell the world how military invade the churches and kill men of God. A good example, the Bali Presbyterian Church incident. We saw in an open vigil the La République du Cameroon military entering the Catholic hospital and molesting even the Reverend sisters, shooting others. So you should have mentioned this too, alongside telling the world how Amba boys kidnap men of God for ransom. Before I end, His Lordship, I want to bring it to your notice that there are different groups of voices in the bushes, like the frustrated slave and La République du Cameroon servant, Atanganji, Paul said. One, there are Atanganji voices in the bushes, working for him to carry on atrocities and destroy the true struggle for his selfish political interest of becoming minister, more big minister, and even the prime minister. Secondly, there are fake diasporan boys in the bush. This group are sponsored by some few powermonger personalities working indirectly for La République du Cameroon to spoil the true struggle and carry out their evil act and settle their scores. And also to pave their way of becoming presidents, ministers, big people, should their plans of filling Ambazonia don't take place. Then they will now turn as if they were good and use their voices to guarantee their positions when Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, will finally gain its sovereignty. The third group are the La République du Cameroon Anglophones political boys group in the bush. Their work is to take order from the political groups in town and continue committing bad acts so that they will keep asking money from La République du Cameroon government to go and end or fight the war. These are the most dangerous group in the struggle and in the bush because they don't want the struggle to end, the fight to end, because they are gaining from it. Because they know if the fight ends, their way of income from La République du Cameroon government ends. They order their boys to execute and kill innocent people in public so that they take the videos to the government of La République and ask more and more and more funds to go fight the Amba boys, by that enriching themselves. Fourthly, another war set of boys in the bush, like now, are the DDR boys, headed by faceless my country people in diaspora, and commanded on ground zero by Clovis, Bertus, Yannick, just to mention a few. They are the ones leading most DDR boys to do the recent killing of our people across the former British Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. As of now, they surrendered to the Republic of Cameroon government. Record tell us that almost thousands of them surrendered from the bush to the DDR center as published by the Republic of Cameroon. But as Archbishop, I will warn you to take a surprise visit to the DDR center. You will not meet up to 100 of them there. Ask yourself, where are the rest? They are all spread across the former British Southern Cameroon territories to commit atrocities so they can put on the true freedom fighters. Some in military camps, leading the military to go kill their brothers. Some narrowly entered their community and kidnapped for ransom, kill in disguise, all using the name of Amber. Chai, His Lordship. The fifth group. There is this other group, sponsored by some top La Republic of Cameroon government officials, to be used and carried their revenge to settle their scores with their old-time enemies. Most of them have disputes with their friends, political opponents, business opponents, family members, just to mention a few. So they saw the need to take advantage over this war declared on Ambazonia by Pabia, the president of the Republic of Cameroon, to sponsor a few group of boys which they will use to settle their scores, to kill their political opponents, business opponents, family opponents, and friends. This should be taken note of in your next interview. They are a particular group, completely military. This should be taken note. They go around Southern Cameroon with the Southern Cameroon Ambazonia flags, t-shirt, uniforms, and even then guns. They never put on their military uniform. In their group, you will see some with big military guns, some with pump actions, and few with den guns, just to convince the community to be Amber fighters. This group are sponsored by top La Republic of Cameroon ministers, governors, and SDOs. Their work is to move around, kidnap religious leaders, traders, drivers, innocent civilians for ransom. They go to an extent of killing some, all in the name to put it on Amber and make the civilians to get angry with the true freedom fighters and show their hideout for killings, so that if civilians show one or two Amber and they kill them, the Amber will want to retaliate and do self-defense. To avoid further killings, they may want to kill that black leg, which will further destroy the struggle. That is their objective, my lord. To conclude it all, there is a special group, a true sovereignty liberation freedom fighters. These groups knows why they pick up arms. They do the real work. They even go to churches. They fight genuinely. If you don't look for their trouble, they don't come after you. History in YouTube witnessed civilians jubilating with me, for example, in church and after church in Pinyin. When I went there and created one and ever first liberation camp that did great jobs toward the liberation of Ambazonia until the bad diaspora power monger group came in and spoiled everything there when I left to Santa and other parts to create other freedom camps. Liberian YouTube history also witnessed me and civilians jubilating and happy with me in and after church. How I wish the above intruders never came in to spoil this true liberation fight. Sincerely, this Archbishop, let me tell you the truth. Only fake Amba or those who came in to this struggle for self-interest can or will ever surrender to the Republic of Cameroon. But as far as the real and true freedom fighters of Amba, which we still have almost thousands of them in the bush and resting points, they can and will never surrender to the Republic of Cameroon. They prefer to die than surrender to the Republic of Cameroon. No matter how many fake intruders into this struggle, it should be taken note that the true and real freedom fighters do exist. True freedom fighters like us, for example, and many others will never surrender to the Republic of Cameroon. So the best thing is to call for foreign and international intervention like you did in the United States. I know by now the Republic of Cameroon will be seeing you with bad eyes, thinking you have been compromised to join Amba for carrying the issue to the international eyes by granting that interview in the United States. But don't worry, it's the same way the Amba saw you as a black leg and a La Republic of Cameroon associate when you attended the national dialogue in Buea. I want you to always keep in mind that they are good Amba and they are good La Republic of Cameroon B as well. They never like the killings going on. Some of them have run out of the military camps to different countries simply because they don't appreciate and like the killings taking place in the former British Southern Cameroon Ambazonia. Some sometimes shoot their bullet up the sky and refuse to kill their brothers. In the other hand, there are bad boys in the bushes, like I have mentioned above, carrying atrocities commanded by their leaders in top offices and in the diaspora. And they are bad La Republic of Cameroon B as well, committing atrocities to enrich themselves and their bosses who command them from high offices. So you should take note of all this in your next interview. Condemning both sides and appreciating both sides. Or you simply call for foreign and international intervention. Simple. There was a day, let me tell you this Archbishop. There was a day these same bad boys, sponsored by some top officials, were paid to kidnap you, his Archbishop Andrew Nkia, and to shoot you on your leg so they could put on the true Amba freedom fighters. Your map of leaving Bamenda to Manfred was given to them. They laid you ambush along the Bali Bamenda road. Lucky for you that day, I left Pinion with my squad to pass through Bali to Bamenda. And on my way, I met them on their ambush point. And luckily, I was more equipped and with more boys than them. I asked them, and they told me they were ordered to lay you ambush. I had to disarm them immediately and sent them back, which I later sent back the weapons to their commander, thinking they were genuine group of the liberation, only to later discover they were working for agents. On that same day, I left them on my way to Bamenda, not up to an hour from where I disarmed them. I met your convoy with some priests inside. I smiled and said, God, thank you for using me to save the archbishop and the priest. I kept all this till then just to save the interest of the struggle, just to later find out they were working for agents. His Lordship, I will warn you to take this, my correction, advice, and analysis serious, because I'm not talking as an ordinary fighter. I'm talking as one of the oldest generals still alive with a lot of experience. All my colleagues who started commanding different groups together have gone and as heroes. Many of them are dead. As of them who died fighting genuinely and correctly for the liberation of Ambazonia, may their soul rest in peace. But as of them who died working for their agents to destroy the struggle, may their soul rest in perfect health. But I'm alive to tell the story. And I'm ready to live as long as God may permit, and also ready to die and join them too, than to ever surrender to La Republic to Cameroon without an international intervention to end the war declared on the former British Southern Cameroon Ambazonia by Pabia, the president of La Republic du Cameroon. You will hear from me again if need be. Thanks. The indigenous of Southern Cameroon Ambazonia Self-Defense Ground Zero War Commander, King Dieman. Yeah. In the Trinity, I bring to you this appreciation, correction, analysis, and advice.